All right, fucking Bruce. The Titans television review. Now, normally I do movie reviews, but it's Titans. Come on, DC fans. Now, I know the DC Cinematic Universe movies haven't always been that good, but with movies like Aquaman and Wonder Woman are a great movie success. Wonder Woman first, and Aquaman being the second successful movie for DC, this television show is in its own universe. And I gotta say, I'm very impressed with the television show of Titans. I mean, it's got 11 episodes. You're seeing the characters being shown in its true light. Hold on, you know how I do my movies, and I'm gonna do the same thing for television shows in the future of 2019. Hold on. Spoiler alert. Hold on. Spoiler alert. I'm gonna say it again. Spoiler alert. I know you're like, God damn, Alex. Spoiler alert. If you ain't seen the television show DC Titans, I advise you go watch it on DC Stream. You know, Warner Brothers, or should I say the CW Network, have their own stream service. So if you want to see, you know, Jason Todd, and you want to see Nightwing, which he's Robin, Dick Grayson first, go watch it and then come back and watch this review. Don't watch the review first and then turn around and go watch the show. First watch the show and then watch this review. Spoiler alert, you've been warned. Spoiler alert, I'm going to say it one last final time. Spoiler alert. Now let's get on with the review. Now, the first episode opens up with a lot of flashbacks. We see the death of Dick Grayson's family. You know, Bruce takes him in at Wayne Manor. He talks about his development as Robin, you know, how he learns 5 to 10 styles of martial arts, how he speaks different languages, you know, his fitness training. We get to see him after being Robin for so long that Robin and Batman have a fallout, you know, and he distances himself from Bruce. He leaves Gotham City. He moves to a city nearby, and there he meets this young teenage girl that we know as Raven. You know, the little girl who plays as Raven is not what everyone expected. A lot of fans were outraged when they learned of the cast. You know, everyone was shocked that Dick Grayson, the actor who played Dick Grayson, was perfect. You know, the hairstyle, the athleticism, you know, the way he would just go in and break arms and legs, you know, and to make this the same way as Watchmen, it's poetic. I mean, they took the style and the filmmaking of Watchmen, the movie, and they adapted into this television form. It is pure genius. I mean, the first episode, you immediately know who is who. Now, I'm amazed they didn't bring in people like the Huntress and Barbara Gordon, because they mentioned Commissioner Gordon a number of times in every episode, or in almost every episode. And considering the fact that there's no Barbara Gordon and there's no Huntress, I'm sure they might show up in a season 2 or in a season 3 of Titans. We find out who his first love was. You know, she fall in love with some guy that's, you know, he's not Hawkman, but he, you know, bears resemblance to that character. You know, these are crime fighting vigilantes. They've been fighting for 10 years, and, you know, he has a checkered dark past, and, you know, Robin, you know, Dick Grayson doesn't get along with his ex-girlfriend's boyfriend. The two have a, you know, a nice little history past. And the first episode just kicks off, you know, him, you know, having to have this girl tag along. He doesn't want to really be a representation of what he once was. And if it weren't for Raven, Dick Grayson would not be, you know, the Dick Grayson that we all know very well in this show. Now, it's nice to see they've added, you know, some dimensions and some layers to this show. Like, this is not your normal Titans concept. You know, this is for a mature audience. So this has got a lot of sex, a lot of blood. You know, there's adult language, adult content. You know, and the characters are like, they're living in real situations in real times. Like, it ain't just like their comic book counterparts. It's like they're really living a hard life. Like, what you see them do as superheroes only scratches the mere surface. And here, these characters are being forced to live among us, and they're having to deal with the fact that they can't always crime fight for money. They have to actually have normal lives like a human being. So you get to see the realism in this show. This TV show has a lot of realism, and the characters are not just, they're out there fighting. They have to survive. They have to live somewhere. They have to eat. They have to drink. They have to use their thinking skills, their critical skills, and not just their fighting skills and their capabilities. What I loved about episode 2 and 3 is that we get to see Starfire. Now some people complain that she would look like a cross between a prostitute or a stripper, and that we see her powers immediately be displayed when she rescues the other Titans. We get to see Raven's powers, one touch and you go into shock, and we see her powers displayed. And the relationship between Starfire and Raven was immediately established. When you see them sitting at the table with other people, there's that scene where this one girl's face is messed up, and Raven uses one of her abilities to fix her face, because in the past she was a beautiful woman, but she got disfigured. You see Robot Man, which is another, throwback character that you don't see too much in DC. And they established there's other people. Now, the scene of them fighting in the hotel and outside was just pure badass. I mean, it takes at least 4 episodes, when you see this, and then considering that now he's got Starfire, and then the romance between Starfire and Dick Grayson is every comic book nerd's fantasy come true. Now, I know some people are a little upset with the casting of Starfire, but the actress did a very good job. She convinced us that she's Starfire. Now, I'm pretty sure in season 2, she might go to her full transformation and resemble more of the comic book version than what we see on screen. It was a very intense sex scene between Dick Grayson and Starfire. When we see Beast Boy show up, immediately he's a teenage kid that looked like he ran away from home and just lived out on the street on his own and managed to tag along, and we get to see some of his abilities get displayed. And of course, they're wanted fugitives at this point. And by the time we get to when Jason Todd shows up, just when you think Dick is about to finally get killed, Jason Todd becomes the new Robin and saves the day. You could ask nothing better than that. Best interpretation of Jason Todd. Now, we get to see flashbacks of their training montages and what their life was in Gotham City while being trained under Batman, of course. And then finally we get to the introduction of Diana Troy, which is the sister of Wonder Woman. Her origins gets told in a nice way. And then finally we get to the season finale, which finally drops and teases Batman. And when you watch the season finale, you're like, Batman's killing people. The Joker's dead in one scene. Commissioner Gordon's dead. Alfred's dead. Batman's gone on a massive killing spree. You never get quite a look of who's playing Batman in here. But when you get to the season finale, you find out that Dick Grayson's under a powerful dream state, illusion state, where he's just imagining that Batman's gone on a killing spree. Jason Todd gets put in the wheelchair, and you don't see the rest of the other Titans, and you assume that Raven's biological parents are responsible for possessing him and putting him under their control. So we don't know what's to become of him in season 2. The reason why I don't want to tell too much of the show is that it contains 11 episodes, and each episode isn't just about one person. It's about the whole entire team as a group, as a core group. You've got Jason Todd, you've got Dick Grayson, you've got Raven, you got Starfire, Beast Boy, you got Wonder Girl, and then you got the 2 other characters that, when you see Dick Grayson get into a fight with his ex-girlfriend's boyfriend, them 2 are crime-fighting vigilantes. And considering the fact that you see characters, now this makes people wonder, does this tie into other television shows? It's too early to tell if Titans is going to do any crossovers with the shows like The Flash and The Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl. They confirmed that in season 2, Superboy may in fact show up. Now, I would probably say either in season 2, maybe a season 3, or a season 4 down the road in the near future, if characters like the Flash and Arrow are still around, they might let some characters from Flash and Arrow show up to assist the Titans. But keep your fingers crossed. Now, what do I hope for season 2? I suspect that in season 2, Jason Todd will be the new Robin, and Dick Grayson will finally become Nightwing, because I know a lot of fans are wondering why he has not done the mantle, and I think they want to go in a different direction. I think somewhere in mid season 2, he will in fact become Nightwing and the leader of the Titans. It's just a matter of building up proper story development and trying to get the characters. They want us to get familiar with the characters before they just start, letting the characters become their own. They want to show the progression of the characters. Then, as time goes on, we'll see, Starfire go to her full transformation. We'll see Raven use the full use of her powers. We'll see Beast Boy use the full effect of his powers. We'll see Jason Todd more. We'll see Dick Grayson become Nightwing. And we'll see Superboy and Wonder Girl show up. And we'll get a fully fledged Titans doing what they do best, which is kick ass and take names. Now, this television show is good because it's got 11 episodes. They took a while to get to the season finale, but to have Batman, even though Batman gets shown in flashbacks, that's everybody's fantasy that they finally show Batman in an actual television show. While other shows just mention the existence of Batman, here you get a chance to actually see Batman, even if it's in flashbacks, as Bruce Wayne, and then as Batman. Even if you can't see his face, at least you see him in a flashback, even though Dick Grayson is hallucinating and dreaming of Batman going on a killing spree. At least you get to see Batman. Now, I give this show an 8 out of 10. No, it's not a perfect show by any means. All shows have its flaws. The Flash have some flaws. Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl has flaws. And this has some flaws as well, but it gets an 8 out of 10 for strong performance, strong character development, good storytelling, good story plot. Now, there are some plot holes. It's not perfect. Some episodes are better than previous. Some episodes before or after are okay. And the season finale was a strong finish. Now, some people would wonder, couldn't they show more Batman? And I do believe at some point in season 2 or season 3, we might actually see the real Batman actually show up, maybe somewhere halfway through the season in the future. It was good to see Batman in that final episode. Them trying to hunt down Batman. They break into Wayne Manor. So, yeah, I give it an 8 out of 10. I can't wait for them to come back with season 2 next year. Until then, peace.